Well, what can you do in a situation like this? There is a Bittertide Hydra on the board. My best response was Doomsayer, and to hope and to pray that maybe, just maybe, he'd trade into the Doomsayer. So, of course, this is Wild Mode, ladies and gentlemen, and I am playing the Joris Renolock, going up against this hunter here, who has 2 secrets up, and now has to make a really important decision. And that decision is, do I go face, or do I kill the Doomsayer? The correct play here is to go face, because I have these other minions on board, and if he trades into the Doomsayer, I can kill the Hydra with my Earthen Ring, Farseer, and with the Imp. So of course he goes face, he gets the 8 damage, and he even wants 2 tokens on the board. But being a Renolock here, I have the likes of Kazakus, I have Demon Wrath, I have ways of recovering. However, that's a Fel Reaver. And when is the last time you can honestly say you saw Fel Reaver being played? Honestly. I've not seen that card for such a long time, so it's a bit of a shock to see it. But hey, it's Wild Mode. Expect the unexpected. So anyway, there are some options here. To kill the Fel Reaver, I'd have to invest a potion, a dark bomb, and the Kazakus in order to be able to do the correct amount of damage. That's a massive investment, and to be honest, maybe I take a gamble here. I'm going to play Sludge Belcher. I'm going to mill him for 3 cards. Those are all good cards, by the way, to mill. And now I could preemptively hit with the Dark Bomb, weaken his Fel Reaver. Wow, Dr. Boom has just gone, and we're going to actually trade in 2, because now we're going to say to the hunter, you have to trade in with the Sludge Belcher. That's not the worst thing for me, though, because I'm left with a taunt, a slime, a 1-2 taunt. The Fel Reaver dies, so we still have to invest 3 cards, in essence, to kill that Fel Reaver. But here's the key thing. The Kazakus Potion is left in my hand, because this hunter could continue flooding the board, and oh boy, that card wins games solo on its own. It has to be dealt with using the potion there, destroying the weapon, and suddenly, as the Renolock, we're coming back into this game. That feels good, because we have Reno Jackson in hand, ready to heal us. Oh boy. So, the question is, what else could the hunter do to push an advantage? Playing Fel Reaver number 2 is a good way of pushing that advantage. However, I have Reno. And I have the Enforcer next turn to deal with the Fel Reaver after a Reno trade. So once again, it will be a 3-card investment to kill the Fel Reaver. But that's fine, because it would win us the game. And he saw the writing on the wall. He knew that it was over once he saw Reno. So here it is, the Joris Renolock on Wild Mode. This is a deck that I featured on my channel, I think last season. And this is my go-to deck when I am feeling a little sad on the Wild Mode ladder, when, you know that feeling, you win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game, and then you think, oh, what can I play to get a foothold on the ladder, to get some of those win streaks going? Well, this is a good deck because it has good games against aggro, if you draw Reno on turn 6 or board clears very early. It has good games against control because you have Lord Jaraxxus to bring out those 6/6 Infernals every single turn. You have N'Zoth the Corruptor to bring back those Death Rattle minions, and there's a lot of them. There is Sylvanas, there's the Sludge Belcher, there's Piloted Shredder, what else have we got? Deathlord, and of course Mistress of Mixtures. So a really good selection there to bring back to life. So there are some cards though that aren't played. Mountain Giant isn't played. We play Tar Creeper instead as an early game card. Why? Because it contests aggro. Dr. Boom, not in this deck. Why? Well, we have late game options. We have Jiraxxus. We have the Abyssal Enforcer. If you were to compare the Enforcer to Dr. Boom, sure, Dr. Boom is a legendary that's highly impactful on the board because of the boom bots. The Abyssal Enforcer is also highly impactful because of that 3 damage AoE that can clear an aggro board. In some ways you could argue it's more impactful than Dr. Boom in some games. Felfire Potion is a card I considered. However, we have Demon Wrath, we have Hellfire. We don't need the Felfire Potion. And one of the big drawbacks of the Felfire Potion is that 5 damage that it does to your own face. So I thought, no, let's not include it. N'Zoth the Corruptor in this deck. Some would argue it's a very slow card. Actually, in control games, it's a phenomenal card. In aggro games, against aggro opponents, you probably won't have a chance to play him. So you won't hear from N'Zoth in those games. Instead, you're just going to focus on grabbing the board with your AoEs and putting down some of your other threats to close out the game. But yeah, an absolute godsend in control games is N'Zoth the Corruptor because they don't often expect it. They spend all their board clears, they use their Twisting Nether, they use their Kazakus Potions, they clear your board, and you summon 6/6 Infernals every turn. They use another board clear to clear the Infernals, and they think, this game could be winnable. And then you play N'Zoth the Corruptor, and they are sad. This deck doesn't also play the big combo, the 20 damage combo of PO, Faceless Manipulator, and Leroy Jenkins. The reason being, you can grind your opponent out with Jiraxxus with this deck. You don't necessarily need the combo. So let's have a look at this deck in action on the Wild Mode ladder. We're going up against a Shaman, and look, there's Reno Jackson. Feeling good about this game already, at rank 14. Now I mentioned something about the combo earlier. Power Overwhelming, Faceless Manipulator, Leroy. The combo can be very difficult to pull off. You need the Emperor discount first of all. And sometimes, if you've only got 2 pieces of the combo, those 2 pieces can be sitting in your hand as dead cards. You don't feel like using them on the board because you're waiting to assemble the 3rd piece of the combo so you can push that 20 damage to the face. Sometimes you're then forced to use pieces of the combo just to survive on board. For example, using Faceless Manipulator to copy a taunt. And then you don't have your 20 damage combo. So we'd rather take, I guess, what I call the more honest route in doing damage with this deck, and we can grind people out with Jiraxxus, we can grind them out with the Death Rattle minions, and of course with N'Zoth the Corruptor, who brings the minions back to life. Now this is a Murloc Shaman who's got the quest going, and this is a very threatening board. Very threatening board. Demon Wrath here, really effective. Really effective in these aggro games. But of course, he's doing what an aggro deck does best. He's refilling the board. And I think my strategy here is to just run him out of threats. But we know that that quest is soon to be complete, so we've got to be mindful, got to be careful. And I'm happy to throw away Acidic Swamp who's there, just as a body on board. Just to contest stuff that he plays. Primal Fin Lookout is a card that you don't see played very often in the meta. Well, I don't see it anyway. But it's pretty good. Because look, he just discovered Grimscale Oracle, which has let him eat through the Deathlord. Can you imagine if he didn't discover that Oracle? What I would have gained on the board in terms of tempo and just control. And Megafin has now been discovered because of that quest. Things just got very interesting. He completed the quest on turn 5, which is great for him, not so great for me. How do I go about this? I have access to Shadow Flame here, but I think Mortal Coil is better. I need to save the Shadow Flame. Because there are going to be more Murlocs coming. So we've got to be wary of this. This is fine. I think killing the 2/3 is better here because it's got 3 health, so 3 damage into 3 health is a fair enough trade. Also, if he has buff effects for his Murlocs, I don't want a 3 health Murloc to get buffed, as opposed to a 2 health Murloc. Just harder to remove. Anyway, refilling the board. Once again, oh hello, Mistress of Mixtures and Shadow Flame. Really, really good combo here. We can even tap, because we have Reno in hand. We feel safe. We cannot afford to leave anything on the board. We really can't. He has ways of buffing that board. And, you know, we just die then. Oh boy, Neptulon. That's a bit of a shock, because I've not seen that card played forever, for ages. Even when Ungoro first came out, when that expansion first hit, and people were experimenting in wild mode with Murloc Shaman, I didn't see anyone playing Neptulon. But I think in this context, Neptulon is pretty good. It's put Murlocs in his hand. It's overloaded him though, but it's giving him more refill potential. And as I start to use my board clears, as I start to use up those bits of AoE, there is a chance that he can outpace me, and that I run out of board clear options. Okay, my health total is pretty low here. So let's see what this secret is. Oh, it's Redemption. That's actually seriously awkward. Wow. That 1/1 taunt is gonna get him so much value here in terms of trading. Or blocking damage from my side of the board. Okay. Using the Dark Bomb there, just because I want to keep as few Murlocs on the board as possible. What I'm really scared of is Murloc War Leader. And if he has a board that's got enough Murlocs on it, the War Leader buffs them up, and he'll get some really good trades into my minions, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. So the liberal use there of Dark Bomb, even though it felt perhaps somewhat unnecessary. So Reno in hand, Kazakus in hand, no Brown Bronze Beard available. He's clearly thinking through his plays though, clearly thinking about what the best course of action is here. Can he trade into something? Does he want to be aggressive and go face with that Flame Tongue Totem? And there's the War Leader from Neptulon, oh goodness. Does he want to trade or does he want to go face? These are the questions that need to be asked. He's seen Shadow Flame. He's trading. Wow, okay. Oh, and now he goes face. Okay, so it's a smart play. He's a good player. I think he removed one threat from the board, went face with the remainder of his damage. Okay. Here's a Kazakus. We could go with the 5-cost spell here, but I'm going to be greedy because I have Reno in hand. I'm going for 10 cost. 8 damage could be okay. These aren't good. Well, okay. Let's talk about the Kazakus potion. 8 damage on its own is good if there's a big minion to hit. Summon an 8/8 demon is very good because it's a body on the board that contests things. But against an aggro deck, 8 damage? Maybe not so good, because there's just going to be lots of small minions to deal with. That's 8 damage to a single target. Summon an 8/8 demon is decent, but not great if you're dying because your opponent has done lots of face damage and has lots of bodies on the board, and you have this one 8/8 demon on the board. So maybe I should have gone for the 5-cost potion and looked for the 4 damage AoE. Maybe this was a misplay on my part. However, I think we're going to have a use for that 8 damage potion to a single target. He's going to play his legendary anytime now. Anytime now. And I'm going to hit it with that potion. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Twisting Nether.
I have no time for games.
But that wasn't the time to pull the trigger. We need to keep the Twisting Nether. It's one of our last big board clears, and we need to use it wisely. So I'm just waiting for that legendary to come down now. But he may not play it, seeing that there is a Sylvanas on board, and he can't easily kill her. At least with what he has on board anyway. Am I ever going to be able to play Jaraxxus in this game? I think I will be able to once I've run him out of most of his threats. Because the trouble with going to 15 is you just become vulnerable to a buffed board of Murlocs smacking you in the face and killing you. Oh boy. Okay, he does nothing else. Sure. Do I Twisting Nether here? Fearing a buff? Do I tap? And then heal bot? I mean, tapping and heal botting should be enough to keep me safe. I'd need to trade into something. Okay, Hellfire. Really good. Wow. Once again, keeping the board clear, but we're keeping Sylvanas down, which is going to be, you know, a big deal here for when he plays Megafin. He can't safely play his legendary when Sylvanas is on the board. Wow, okay.
Let none survive.
I think we steal the Finger. I think we steal the Finger, and there's a method to this, a method to the madness. Why would I want a 2/4? I don't have Murlocs in my deck. Well, if Finger kills the Sylvanas, it's gonna bring Murlocs out of his deck, and it's then gonna clear the way for him to play his legendary. I'd rather have the Finger to deny him that potential of bringing out Murlocs. And there's Megafin. Wow. Also, killing off our own Sylvanas suggests something. It suggests that I will not have a way to kill his Megafin. Little does he know, I have my 8 damage Kazakus potion ready and waiting for that Megafin. So we've given him this false sense of hope and security there by taking down Sylvanas and using our Siphon Soul, interestingly. So he now felt confident. He was like, yeah, Sylvanas gone, Siphon Soul gone, play the Megafin. Well, he's going to be in for a bit of a shock here. And I think he's navigated this game really well. So a lot of respect for this guy, for doing what for making the plays he's made. Yeah, it's time. We now start to seize back control. We have an 8/8 on board. And now it's a 1/3 and a 1/1 Murloc against Finger and an 8/8. Not easy for him to get through. Oh wow, Primal Fin, look out. He's going to be going for something big here, potentially. Megafin and Neptulon have done some good work for him. So has Primal Fin Lookout in giving him high quality or good quality Murlocs. Right. Is it Twisting Nether time now? Here's a consideration. Or do we just Belcher? Belcher, in theory, eats up a lot of his board, providing he can't buff those Murlocs up. We haven't seen Murloc Warleader played naturally from his deck yet. The Warleader we saw earlier was given to him. So, I think by, was it Neptulon? So we need to be really conscious of both Murloc Warleaders that must still be in his deck. The heal bot there presents a body on board that contests the Murlocs. We still are holding on to Twisting Nether. Oh, Corrupted Seer. Wow, again. I think was that the second time we've seen that? That's really good. Oh my goodness. So there's another Oracle. This time created by Megafin. Wow. So he's getting really good value here with his trades, potentially. Oh goodness. This board is going to be quite a challenge to get through. Now that Shadow Flame has been used, I think we have no other option but to Twisting Nether here. But he is trading. That's actually... is that good for me? Would it have been better for me if he'd gone face and then I'd got some damage to his face before playing the Twisting Nether? Hard to say. But Twisting Nether here is the call. It's the correct call, I think. And we play the Doomsayer, which in theory should stop Murlocs from coming down on this board during this turn. Right. Hello. Yep. We play N'Zoth. I mean, I have Jiraxxus in hand. I don't feel like putting myself down to 15 health when I'm at 30. And all of a sudden now, Mistress of Mixture, Sylvanas, the Deathlord, the Belcher. Yeah, that's hard for him to deal with. All we're missing on that board is the Piloted Shredder, to be honest. Which is one reason we don't play Dr. Boom in this deck. You want the Mistress, the Sylvanas, the Deathlord, the Belcher, the Shredder. You want those back, not the Boom bots, right? And don't underestimate bringing back a Mistress of Mixtures. In a late game scenario where your health total is really low, bringing her back and trading her in with something to get the extra health can be game winning. Especially against an aggressive class that's got, you know, an aggressive hero power, like the Hunter hero power, where you 2 damage every single turn. That extra 4 health can just be an instant lifesaver. Anyway, we don't have lethal. Oh, do we? No, we're short. Jiraxxus does not give us lethal, so we need to trade. We're going to play Lotheb there with the double battle cry effect, just to stop any spell-based shenanigans where he could buff the board, and to just put a 5/5 body down. And there is no harm with trading here, like I've done, because we're just minimising the threat from the Murlocs, and now doing some damage to his face. We've essentially set up lethal for the following turn. Okay, no ability to buff his board. You face Jiraxxus. Jiraxxus here with the Bran effect, of course. We'll finish off this game in style. But what a game! What a game! With Megafin, with Neptulon being played against me, we did manage to outlast the aggro deck. And there's the bonus streak. Wow. Right, let's just take a quick look at some of the cards that were played. If you look at the left-hand side, you can see all the cards played by the Murloc Shaman, and yeah, just an awful lot of Murlocs, highlighted by Megafin and Neptulon there. On the right hand side I still had the Shredder and the Emperor left in my deck, so I was running out of gas. I would have been relying in the end on Jiraxxus and the 6/6 Infernals, but as I said, putting yourself to 15 against an aggressive deck that can flood the board very quickly is not always a good thing. But I made friends with the dude after the game, and once again it's just really nice to be able to befriend someone who you've beat on the ladder, and for them to be very polite and very friendly, and not to rage at you and accuse you of all sorts of things. Yeah, just really nice to have, you know, someone that you can befriend that isn't salty about the outcome. I'm spreading a bit of positivity in this game. I think would just make it a little bit more fun for everyone involved. Okay, let's look at this next little game. It's against a warrior. Now, rank 11 here, so we've done okay with our ranks. We've been doing a bit of streaking with this deck. Why do I want to highlight this game? Well, any moment now you're going to be able to guess what kind of a warrior this probably is. Waiting for it? There it is! Ship's Cannon! Yep, Pirate Warrior. This game is going to serve to highlight the fact that when you have Reno Jackson in your hand, you can afford to tap on turn 2 against a Pirate Warrior. You're not scared too much of dying. Now, we have Mistress of Mixtures in our hand as well. We have Deathlord in our hand. So any fears of being burst down by turn 5 should be alleviated now. The problem is we can't deal with the ship's cannon. But I'm confident that I can last until turn 6 to be able to play the Reno Jackson. Now, I didn't use the ooze, and you'd be saying misplay, misplay, but I think Imp Gang Boss here is better because he'll play pirates, hopefully. Oh, Heroic Strike. Okay, he's going to trade? Upgrade? He's going to trade? Yes, he is. Yeah, my plan... Oh, no. He went face. Wow, he wants to kill me. He wants to really kill me. Okay, my plan there was for him to play pirates with the damage from the cannon hitting the Imp Gang Boss, leading to imps being spawned and the game just being super awkward for him. So maybe I should have played the ooze. Or maybe, I don't know. The Imp Gang Boss was an on-curve play. We're using our mana efficiently. I'm still not afraid of dying. I have Deathlord next turn. So we're sort of... We're on the edge here with this game. We really are. We're taking a few gambles. We're taking a few risks. And there's the patches. Oh, and my plan worked. Imp Gang Boss, putting it on the board. Okay. Wow. Okay. It kind of worked. Despite having 3 targets on the board, that 2 damage at the end there still hit my face. I'm at 7 health. If I kill the cannon and play the Deathlord, I actually don't think he can kill me. I don't think there is any way of him killing me. Mortal Strike certainly wouldn't be enough here. And yeah, we're safe and sound. So with that opening hand that we had with the Deathlord, with the Reno, etc., in the ooze, it's just really difficult for Pirate Warrior to finish out the game. Look at what that Deathlord has just done. It's absorbed those hits and it's still survived, which is amazing. Well, we're going to be rich, and I'm going face. I'm not trading. The reason I'm not trading is because I don't want to put a minion on his board on my turn, which means on his current turn, which you're seeing now, he gets to use the minion. Unless it's a charge minion, of course, which he could use regardless, but yeah. So let's see what comes out of the Deathlord. Okay, Bloodsteel Cultist. So the benefit being he can't he can't play that. He can't use that minion now. It's just it's passive on the board. If I'd killed the Death Lord on my turn, that minion could have hit my face. Okay, get rid of the weapon. Which was one reason, I guess, to save the ooze. Targeting an Arcanite Reaper is far more productive than targeting a Fiery War Axe, for example. And when the Pirate Warrior is forced to armour up on a turn and can't utilise all of that mana efficiently or effectively, you know that the game is swinging in your favour. See, I can even tap. I even feel confident enough to tap there. And we're just loading up the threats. I'll sacrifice the ooze here. We'll make the value trade with the Lotheb, and we'll keep a relatively strong board in check here. That's a reasonable amount of damage there, represented on my board. And an Azosphus mate is, well, a bit inadequate there for him, bless him. That poor little pirate facing off against Reno, Lotheb, and Sylvanas. Not looking good for the Pirate Warrior. Yeah, it is extraordinary, isn't it? And I'm sort of surprised he hasn't conceded yet, because at this juncture, you know that it's going to be really hard to win the game if you're the Pirate Warrior. I'm just going to trade. I don't want to leave a pirate on the board to let a Bloodsail cultist come down and buff the weapon. I mean, my health total isn't exceptionally high at the moment. But I feel confident that I can manage this game, navigate the remainder of this game successfully against the Pirate Warrior and still win. Oh, he's attacking the minions. He wants to buff the Berserker. Not going to do anything for him. Oh, hello. It's game over now. It really is game over. See, can even tap again. Can even tap again.
Let none survive.
Well, I'd say it's about over now. Because of the Belcher, we could ignore the Frothing Berserker, not too fussed or bothered about it. So he actually has to face attack in order to be able to do enough damage with the Berserker to kill the Sludge Belcher. How interesting is that? Oh, for the War Chief. Okay, so he can kill both parts of the Belcher, which is why Sludge Belcher is, in my opinion, still the best taunt in the game. It's double layered, and in situations like this, it protects your face very effectively. They've got to trade in twice to it to kill it, or in the case of the warrior here, 3 times in order to remove all of the Belcher. He had to use his weapon too. Yeah, Brown Bronzebeard, Abyssal Enforcer, game over. Hey, a lot of people forget about the value from the Bran Enforcer combo. That is 6 damage. Phenomenal board clear, but also potential lethal setup. Okay, so we used the Joris deck here to streak through rank 14 all the way through to rank 10 on the wild mode ladder, and it felt really, really good. I love this deck, and I love playing it. The only problem is the games can be quite long, so you've got to have the time. As I said last season, I don't feel that we're missing the Mountain Giant in this deck. I think the likes of Tar Creeper is a much better replacement because it blocks aggro, which is really good. Actually, did we see Tar Creeper in this video? Did we see it played at all? I can't remember. But yeah, N'Zoth the Corruptor also just super duper value. And as I say, often not expected. Not expected at all. Once your opponent sees Jaraxxus and they see all your Death Rattle minions die, and they see Jaraxxus and they think it's, you know, it's game over because they can still flood the board and you're at 15 health and they can still hopefully hit you for that 15 damage. Well, you play N'Zoth, out comes the Death Lord, out comes the Belcher, and you block that damage and you win the game. So N'Zoth the Corruptor, really, really good in this deck. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe, and I'll see you all again very soon for more Hearthstone fun.